Welcome back to another day on the Lorcana pixelborn client. Today we're playing an Emerald and Sapphire mid-range aggro deck. The way this works is largely based on our opening hand. We can either curve out and be incredibly aggressive with Gramma Tala Storyteller into a Caterpillar Common Collected, into either Donald Duck Perfect Gentleman or Basil Perceptive Investigator, into our 5-drop Kuzco Temperamental Emperor, leaving us at 11 lore on turn 5 with 9 more lore ready to go the following turn. Or alternatively, based on our opening hand, we can settle into the more common mid-range plan where we're still trying to curve out as best as possible. But there's a little bit more focus on limited ramp between Tala, Winnie the Pooh Having a Think, Fishbone Quill, or Mickey Mouse Detective. We don't need to ramp a bunch, just enough to get us into our 5 drops a turn early. Then again to allow us to double cast multiple characters a turn. Building into that mid-range theme, we're also running Hiram Flaversham Toymaker to complement our 10 items, so that we can successfully reach the mid-game with some cards still in hand. But at the end of the day, that's the plan. Commit our characters to the board for quick questing, draw cards in ramp, but only a little, don't over-focus on that, and some protection cards to help give us the extra turn or two we need to win. With Aurora, Dreaming Guardian, and Cogsworth, Grandfather Clock. Just having one or both of these in play improves the lifespan of all our other characters and can really be the difference between winning and losing. But that's the deck. Let's jump in and see if we can't win a few. Amber, Amethyst. Going second. I'd like to take just a moment here to let people know that I do concede games a lot, so if you ever play against me and I just concede to you pretty early in the game, there's usually a pretty good reason for it. I feel pretty bad. I just conceded to a couple of people. Let me do my mulligan real quick. There's an item. Ooh. Mickey Mouse keeps popping up in all my hands, even though there's only one of in the entire deck. Let's get rid of all the high ends. We'll focus on the ramp and the card draw. See how that plays out. Okay, not bad, not bad. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of concessions. First game today, I ended up playing against somebody. The very first card they played was a location. All of the new cards, well, most of the new cards are available technically on the client right now. However, none of them have images. That is very bad for my YouTube, right? You guys can't see what my opponent is playing, and I also don't know what my opponent is playing. They don't have any images, so not very good content, so I ended up conceding those games, and it's happened a few times now. Other times I'll look at the clock and I'll be like right now it's 7:30 in the morning, like I still have a half an hour before I have to go wake up my son for school. So I'll look at the time and be like, oh no, it's 8:10, and I'll just have to concede a game right away. I just have to concede because I have real life responsibilities, and just get moving. We're playing against an aggro deck. This is a mid-range / aggro deck, and it's having a slow start, so that is not good. And you know what? I don't know if I want to let it go. Don't know if we're gonna get to Flaversham. I may end up developing straight into Basil, just to have something with a bigger attack power to get through a potential bodyguard that's about to come down. Yeah, we're definitely off of this plan entirely. Like, I'm not playing any items right now. It's just not happening. Hey, hey! No quests. I like seeing no quests. 3-4 ward. I'm probably gonna hold on to you. Yeah, we're definitely off the item plan all of a sudden. A little unfortunate, but that is just the way it is. I'm just gonna get some characters down that can attack into this nonsense. Eventually they're gonna play like a bodyguard, like a Maximus or something, and quest all. Wabbit's Pocket Watch. What are you gonna give some rush to? I could see like a snake. Another Lilo. Oh man, opponents just got everything they need. Yep, let's just stay on curve with things that get the job done. Now they can rush into my Cruella. I think that's probably fine. Cruella's gonna trade with a lot of stuff. This early in the game anyway. Let's see. They want to give it rush, with the exception of a few things out there, like the fox. They can afford to play a 4-drop. My opponent's in Magical Christmas Land right now. They're like, yes! Finally, an opponent who can't just board wipe me. They're not confident in that Maximus. That's really nice. I was about to say Kuzco, because that's who I want to play. I don't know, but Peach just has a bigger attack. He doesn't really have potential for a bigger attack than the 3 in this deck. So mostly here is just a ward character. So here's the thing, right? They could quest Maximus and just give up something else to do the damage to Basil if he decides to quest. I'm trying to debate if I need to be questing myself or not. Or I can get 2 characters down. You know what? I think the 2 characters down is just a little better. That way I can still threaten questing. Right, because if Maximus is going to quest and use the support to throw Lilo or Maleficent at one of my characters, that's still a trade. However, they can play something really crazy, something lame, use the pocket watch, boost his attack with Maximus. We might just see that. Right, Maleficent trades with Basil here now, thanks to the Maximus pocket watch combo. It's a nice little combo. Okay, so Maximus is not going to use the support ability, but it has set up the bodyguard. Will that be enough? All it takes is multiple Maximuses and they're in a really solid position. And then we're just racing at that point. I think if all of them quested, I would go into combat mode. Okay, they do all quest. So how do I do this? I mean, I give up the weakest ones. 2 Cruellas into a Maximus, it's gone. And then I would need the Basil and the Caterpillar to take down these 2 characters. Then Maleficent freely destroys the Caterpillar. And then I'm left with the 1 character and they have the 2. And then of course I develop like a Kuzco. So I could do that. We're both questing for 7. I'm technically in the lead. But they're running Amber, so I can't trust them to not attack with Maximus and then heal it with Rapunzel. I think we're gonna go Kuzco here. Yeah, I think we just take them all out. I just have a slightly better board here. The pocket watch does make things interesting though, because just being able to randomly attack every single turn is pretty strong against my particular deck that wants to be exerted every turn. Dr. F is really good for them. Now they can both attack the Basil, and he gets both the Maleficents back. But that does retain some of my questing power. Okay, there we go. Either way, I keep some questing power, so that's good. I think I'm playing Donald D here. You both quest, but I need to get in a position where I can start multicasting. The only reason I played the Donald D is because of this Maleficent cycle thing he's got going on. So he's got a lot of card draw. Gonna go for the race. Ooh, interesting. I would have done it with the Maleficent. Just because you cycle it and you get to draw cards. Yeah, I would have thrown this Maleficent, not the Yzma. Because they're both questing for one, so you're not getting any extra utility out of it. Two Winnie the Poohs. And I think that's just gonna be strong enough. Two Winnie the Poohs will take me to 19. So if they're gonna be focused on attacking my board, which they will be, they're gonna be doing very little questing. Ha! Putting the aggro deck on defense. Yep, keep attacking it. Dr. F is really powerful, but I think Dr. F, the reason he didn't end up being like a meta card is because he costs 7 and he's uninkable. Like, he just comes down way too late to save your board. Ooh, and that was the mistake. You had to take out Donald to not die. You had to defeat Donald to not die. Cancel. Oop. Do this right. Cancel. And Donald Duck victory. Heck yeah. Steal Amethyst. Okay, going first. I like that. Okay, let us see. Do I have a curve? I do not have a curve. My earliest play is a turn 3. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Let's keep the Mickey Mouse. Let's get rid of everything else. I'm looking for a curve. 2 is good. No 1-drops. Okay. Sort of a curve. Don't need 2 Talas. Pass turn. Jafar. So an evasive attacker. That's probably for the Ruby decks with the Minnie Mouse. Simba. And Fairy Godmother. Okay, so it's gonna be a combat tricky deck. Got it. You know what? I'm kind of heavy on the 5-drops right now. Let's keep the curve. Pass the turn. Now I got 3 fantastic options. Do I play my aggro, my ramp, or my ramp off the top of the deck? Cinderella. Okay, it looks like opponent's gonna start threatening to play some shift characters. Another filter card. Got rid of another Cinderella. Okay, my turn 4 is looking a lot more solid, so I feel a lot better getting rid of Flaversham now. Could stay on curve. Could ramp ahead. The problem with Caterpillar, he's a great quester. He's a horrible combative character. Let's go Winnie the Pooh. It's literally best of both worlds. He quests really well. And he can ramp if we want it. Jafar. Okay, what else? That's 2 Jafars down. Something tells me if they have Dreadnought, it's not in their hand. Okay, they're gonna rush something out. Did they choose to not rush something out? Oh, did they misplay it with it being a 4-drop? Oh no, okay, no, they did do the Dreadnought. Okay, I'll get a ramp, they'll get to draw a card. Yes. Was that ultimately worse for them? They lost the Gruesome and Grim, they lost the Jafar, they got one card back, which still puts them at -1, and my Gramma Tala just turned into ink. I think, actually, I got ahead on that. Alright, we definitely take out the Cinderella here. No hesitation, that Cinderella's gone. Because that's going to be tough for us to fight. Let's see, with that gone, I can still develop a Basil and a Popsicle. But I have to ink the Caterpillar. Sorry, Caterpillar. I love the Caterpillar, he's very particular about when he should be coming down. And yes, I should have played Popsicle first. But either way I'm playing these, yeah, definitely wasn't going to play Donald Duck. Another Gruesome. So another Jafar. Hey, I'm totally okay with this. Gruesome on Jafar? Like, Jafar's a good card. For them to just be giving him up so willy-nilly, not a great play in my opinion. I don't want to refill my opponent's hand. I think I'm going to attack the Simba and have a Kuzco in play. That way there's no chance of shift. Simba is a weird one. I'm not as familiar with all the Simba cards, so I don't actually know off the top of my head if there is a shift Simba, but looking at it and knowing there's other bigger Simbas, how could there not be a shift one, is what I'm thinking. So let's not face it. Let's not have that problem. Yeah, Mickey Mouse. I don't think I'm gonna snag the Donald Duck. At a certain point, my opponent has so many cards, like an extra one doesn't mean a lot, so maybe he needs to come down. In fact, this is probably the best case scenario. He probably does need to be on this particular board. Just because my opponent does have so many cards, that them drawing an extra one's gonna mean nothing. But me having so few, the extra one could be huge. Alright, so Donald's gonna come down. Also, Donald represents lethal here. Now, don't forget, Donald's a May ability, but if you say no, your opponent also gets to choose, and they will get to draw a card. That has happened to me. I have thought to myself, hey, this is great. I should take out the Kuzco, right? Should take out the Kuzco. Like, hey, I'll say no, and neither myself nor my opponent can draw. That's not how it works. Donald will still let them draw a card. Sorry, opponent. Taking a sippy sip. Yes, I will get rid of it. So there's no chance of you snake bouncing it. Hercules! Yes, draw the card. Now my opponent gets to draw a card. Oh, a Cogsworth against a deck that does damage? Yes, please. Alright, this should be a tough turn for my opponent. Yeah, the Cogsworth is huge. That was a mighty draw right there. Nice little mid-range aggro deck. Around turn 7, turn 8, that's where we want to be. And we did ramp into the 7, so... And then we missed playing a land drop, intentionally, of course. So yeah, we're right around that turn 7. Exactly where we want to be. So turn 8 victory. I mean, I don't know what opponent's digging for. They spent all of their resources on Cinderella. They should have drew cards first. Another Donald D. Cogsworth, you've earned it. I guess.